Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me dear, tell me you are mine. I'll be yours through all the years, till the end of time. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will, always will. Yes, that's an Elvis Presley song, and you're right. Dennis Ramsay ain't Elvis Presley. You got that right. Anyhow, come by my paintings. I live at 27 Canaan, C-A-N-A-A-N Avenue, Apartment B, Kempville, Yellow House, White Trim. I live in the upstairs apartment. Knock loud on the door, please. Also call me at 902-365-5044. Anyhow, I can sell you some folk art paintings or some abstract art paintings. They cost only $100 each, up to $200 each. I paint folk art paintings and abstract art paintings. Anyhow, please subscribe to all my videos on the YouTube channel. There's talking videos, singing videos, art videos, and more videos to come. Anyhow, I'm going to do some videos tonight, and I'm going to do some talking videos tonight, to make up for the ones I couldn't get this morning. Anyhow, please subscribe to all my videos on the YouTube channel. There's singing videos, talking videos, and art videos. And if you want a painting, please call me at 902-365-5044. Always give me a thumbs up on my videos. No thumbs down, none of these. All thumbs up. I want to get them numbers up into the thousands or millions. Please subscribe to all my videos on the YouTube channel. Anyhow, Elvis Presley was a better singer than me, and he did a great job of that Love Me Tender song. I sang it okay, but not as good as Elvis. Elvis was 5 times better than I ever dreamed of being. Anyhow, what made Elvis great, Elvis had a golden voice, and I mean that. He had a golden voice. You know how some people, when they naturally sing a song, it sounds so good. And Elvis had that voice. He had a great voice. and he had a great golden voice, singing voice. Julie Garland had it also. There's many singers that got that great voice. Anyhow, today's topic is the Canadian homeless folks. Let's get some more housing for our Canadian homeless folks, please. Many homeless Canadians freeze to death every winter in Canada, and it's a shame. Many people die underneath bridges. They find them dead in park benches. They find them dead in doorways and on the sidewalk, and in snowbanks and in cardboard boxes. All those horror stories are true. People do freeze to death in the wintertime. Anyhow, Justin Trudeau and the federal MPs, please spend $2 or $3 billion on our Canadian homeless folks and get them apartments and housing so they don't freeze to death in the wintertime. That is Dennis Ramsay's plea to you. Anyhow, I gotta have a sip of this coffee and anyhow, I gave up smoking, I gave up drinking, I gave up drugs. So I gave up all my bad habits. I used to smoke, drink, and use drugs, and I gave all three of them up back in 1990. And how I did it, I went to a drug center, and I was there about 2 months in this therapy center. And they gave me all kinds of therapy, and I got off the alcohol, the drugs, and the cigarettes and everything. So I've been doing good, you know, doing pretty good. The last thing I smoked was pipe tobacco, and I smoked that, and I gave that up in 2000 and, just trying to think what year that was. I gave that up in about 2004. I gave up pipe smoking tobacco. So, years ago I had bad habits. I used to smoke cigarettes, and pipe tobacco, and drugs, and alcohol, and all them bad things. So I went to a drug center, and I had therapy while it was a hospital. It was a drug center in the hospital, I guess that's the best way to put it. And I spent 2 months there with the nurses and doctors, and they helped me get off the drugs, the alcohol, and all the bad habits. Anyhow, as I used all the drugs known to man, from cocaine to heroin to acid, LSD, PCP, I used everything. And I went through the drug center, and I spent 2 months there to get off all these drugs. And I had a bad addiction. It was very bad. I had the same addiction that Ozzy Osbourne had. And I got off the alcohol and the drugs, and I quit smoking. And do I feel better? The answer is yes. I feel better mentally and physically. Thing about substance abuse, anybody can get addicted to drugs or alcohol. It can happen to anybody. And believe me, I've seen a lot of good people destroyed by alcohol and drugs. And they've died from it, you know, physically died. Anyhow, if you're ever in bad shape, you're hooked on cocaine or heroin or acid or LSD or whatever you're taking, alcohol or whatever it is, go to a drug center or spend a month or two and get some therapy. Do what I did. I spent a couple months getting two months of therapy at the hospital, and I stayed right there in the hospital bed. And I got off all these drugs. I got off the cocaine, the heroin, the acid, and all these other things. I was taking bennies and whatnot. And the drugs will kill you eventually. They will kill you. Those drugs are deadly. It's just as worse as getting shot with a 22 bullet or a 38 bullet. Them drugs will kill you in the end. So, if you're in bad shape out there and you're hooked on alcohol or drugs, please do what I did. Dennis Ramsay went to a drug center, or a hospital or whatever it was, and I spent 2 months there getting therapy from the nurses, doctors, and the staff. And I get off all these chemicals and drugs and alcohol. That's how I did it. And today I feel good. I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I don't use drugs. So if I can do it, you can do it also. And I turned out to be a world-famous folk artist at that. And I sell folk art paintings and abstract art paintings. They cost only $100 each, up to $200 each. You can call me at 902-365-5044 and buy a folk art painting. They cost only $100 each, up to $200 each. And subscribe to all my videos on the YouTube channel, and there's talking videos, singing videos, and art videos. I enjoy making these short films. It's fun to do. And, you know, back in our hell-raising days, we used to take every drug known to man. You know what I mean? We experimented. We experimented with magic mushrooms, and we used to get high off those. And LSD was the weirdest drug I ever took. You would hallucinate and see things that weren't even there. LSD is a funny drug. It's a powerful drug, but it's a bad drug. So don't take LSD. And don't take magic mushrooms, because they'll make you see things that are not there. And I think the reason we got high off the magic mushrooms, it was the poison in the mushrooms. Because these magic mushrooms are only about as big as your fingernail, baby fingernail. A lot of them, you get high off the poison in the magic mushrooms. Anyhow, we use cocaine and heroin, acid, LSD. We used all those drugs. And there were sometimes you'd get a bad stone or a bad high, and you felt like you were going to die. You felt like you were physically just going to drop dead. That's how bad some of them drugs are. So if you're in bad shape like I was years ago, go to a drug center and get a month or two of therapy like I did. I got therapy from doctors and nurses and staff workers and drug abuse counselors and so on and so forth. So now I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I don't use drugs. And like I said before, if I can do it, you can do it. And a lot of it was peer pressure back in the 1970s. Back in the 70s, we all did cocaine, and we did some strong drugs like LSD and PCP. And we did a lot of the strong drugs, acid and whatnot. But everybody was doing it. Everybody was doing these drugs. So I joined in and did them also. But it was other people that instigated me to put me up to taking these drugs. And that's how it started, as peer pressure. So if you feel any peer pressure from the people around you, take my advice. Don't use the drugs. That's coming from Dennis Ramsey. Don't use the cocaine, and don't shoot up no heroin or take acid. And don't take any of those drugs, LSD. I know the soft drugs won't hurt you, like marijuana and hashish. Those drugs will not hurt you. They'll put you to sleep more than anything and give you the munchies, but that's about it. Please subscribe to all my videos on the YouTube channel. I got art videos, singing videos, talking videos, and all kinds of videos. Anyhow, so I hope you like this short video. But that's why I talked about drugs. The topic was drugs. Don't use them and don't abuse them. And if you're hooked on any kind of drugs, go to a drug center. Spend a couple months there and get yourself well again like I did. And if I can do it, you can do it. So no matter what drug you're taking, go to a drug center or a hospital and spend a couple months there and get some therapy. And you'll feel better in the end. You'll feel better. That's my message. You all have a nice day. Bye for now.